Hello, everybody, and welcome to this meeting. Today, Rosemary Kerner and me, Kat Jacobs, we're going to explain you something in detail about the UTerra project because many people asking us about the UTerra project. Rosemary and me, we're both top experts and we're very loyal to the Skyworld community platform for many years. And we love that our co-owners know everything in detail. And there were many questions. So the UTerra project is amazing project. It's a revitalizer of that earth. And it gives you a lot of good food and a lot of good soil. And this is why we do this. This is why we're behind this project, because we want our planet to be even healthier than it is today. Okay. Hello, Rosemary.
Hello, Kat. Welcome.
Okay. So Rosemary is very good in numbers and she has it all planned out. So let's go through it together. Rosemary, the floor is yours.
Okay, welcome all together. I am allowed to explain you today the profit of UTerra. First, you can see our elixir, soil elixir UTerra, and the humus in the hands of Mr. Junitsky. Here you can see the sustainable biospheres cluster with all the numbers, but today the numbers of the area is not so important. This area is in Arrakis. We will see some pictures in the end of our presentation.
This is the plan. So this is the whole production area in the United Arab Emirates, correct?
Yes, the plant, if it is finished, so it will be, looks like this picture here.
Yes, this is the design. Yes.
We have a master plan. On this master plan, you can see the production hall, the greenhouse, and the plantation.
Plantation, yes,
plantation.
where they grow the fruit and vegetables. Yes.
Yes. And the lake for the quail rearing. They also will be live here in this area. So we have in our back office on new SWC capital 1 point UTerra, and in this point UTerra you have 1 point. It calls materials about the project, and in this materials you can find the profit distribution explanation.
Okay, let me explain that again. So in your back office, you find this logo that you see in the top left. And if you click on that logo, that's the UTerra page. And on that page, there's a lot of calculations. You also see the lots there. You see everything. You see the documents. You see the business plan. You just have to click everywhere. And this is how it looks like in the beginning. And Rosemary is going to explain you something about it.
In our back office, it looks like this slides, but I have seen many people can't understand this explanation. So
that's true. Yeah. So we're going to do it in detail. We're going to give you the explanations. Well, Rosemary is going to give you the explanations in detail, and I'm going to ask questions. If I feel that it's a difficult explanation, I'm going to ask questions to make it very simple for everybody, because I know a lot of people are not so good in numbers as Rosemary is, so she will help you.
Okay, we start with slide 1. You can see it. This is the original slide. And now I have prepared an explanation what this means. You can see here the company that according to the business plan, 20 million liter. Okay, 20.
We don't see your cursor. We don't see.
I'm sorry. You
Yeah.
can see 20
Thank you.
millions because we will get money because we produce 10 million liter per year.
That is a
And
lot.
according to the business plan, first they thought they will get $2 for 1 liter. $2 for 1 liter multiplied with 10 million liters, that would be 20 million income for the company, not profit, income. But now we know the price will be not $2, that will be $3.70. We multiply now $3.17 instead of $2 with 10 million liters. So we will get $31.7 million.
Okay, can I hold you there? Can I hold you there? So I repeat. So in the original business plan, there was calculated that that the company will produce 10 million liters a year, and that the price, the cost of the product would be $2 1 liter. So if you take $2 times 10 million, that gives you 20 million, correct? But it's not profit, it's everything, yeah? It's the whole money that comes in. But then they found out it's gonna be $3.17 the liter. So the product is gonna cost more to produce, yeah? And so we have to multiply the 10 million times 3.17. That gives us 31,700,000. Yeah, that is 156% more, correct?
Yes.
156% more.
Yes. Why it is 56% more? 100 is 20 millions plus 56%, what we will get more now. And so we have together 156%.
So the original cost of $2 the liter is the 100%. So we always start from that, the 100%. 100% is, remember, the 20 million, yeah? Okay, but there is extra, yeah, there's an extra cost, so it's gonna be 56% extra on top. That means 11,700,000 extra. So this is where we got the 156% from. Yes, so the 100% is the 20 million where we started from in the business plan, the original plan, but it was upgraded, and now we have in total 156%.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, now the company needs from this income 50% for costs, safety reserve, materials, research, etc. That means $15,850 the company needs for costs.
Okay, so the company, of course, has its costs. 50% of the money goes to the costs, yeah? It's going to go to the regular costs, yeah? The payments of the salaries, you name it. Every company has cost. That will be $15,850,000. That's the cost. So that will be deducted of the whole amount.
And the same amount the company has for profit. 50% also we have now for profit.
So if you take the $31,700,000 minus 50% is 15,850,000, and there is left another 50%. That's 15,850,000, correct?
Yes, we have the same amount for costs and the same amount for profit. And also, if we share the percent divided through 2, so we have 78%. And this 78% you can see in your counter in your back office. This is the end at the moment.
So that's the biggest profit you can have, yeah?
At the moment, yes, the biggest profit which we can have at the moment. And this amount is for all involved parties. That means that for investors, for SWC, and for Discovery. This profit will shared through all together.
Let me explain where we got the 2 from. Yeah, because people ask themselves, the 156% divided by 2. Why by 2? Well, go back up. You have 50% cost. We have 50% profit. So that's 50-50. That's 2. Yeah. So 156 divided by 2. One part goes to the cost and one part goes to the profit. So 78% is profit.
Yeah, this is the reason why the counter stops at the moment with 78%.
And so what happens with this profit?
Okay, this calculation is based on full production. At first, we will not have full production. It's very important. We came to the point later. But this calculation is for full production and 50% costs. That is important. So, but the percent can change if the price for UTerra will change. Can be higher, it can be lower. And the company needs 50% for cost. But also this point can change. We have some examples today. Okay?
Yes. So what Rosemary means is that the first year or the first 2 years, we will see how it goes. The plant will not go in its full production because it's a starting up. Yeah, it's a starting up phase. There can be challenges. They have to cope with challenges. That's everywhere. Yeah. So we cannot guarantee 100% 100% production. So the first, taking calculations that the first 2 years there will be issues. Yeah, always. It's normal. Yeah. Maybe in the first year, maybe in the first 2 years, we'll see. But then Rosemary goes on.
Okay. Now I have another example. We have always the same part from the business plan, according to the business plan, but it can be due to the inflation, we have a higher price. For example, instead of $3.17, we have now $4. So,
okay. So just I hop in. So we always start from the business plan, 20 million. And if cost goes up, the company has to also make the product more expensive to sell, of course, because we need to stay in profit, right? So if there's inflation, yeah, they have to ask more for the product. So here we have an example of $4 instead of $3.17. Yeah. And Rosemary gonna explain the advantage of being an investor in the UTerra product because this is unique. And listen up, please. Thank you.
Yes, this is really unique because our profit will be higher if the price will be higher. The reason is we have $4, we multiply it with 10 million liters, So the company will get 40 million instead of, for example, 20, or in the other example, 31 millions. The income will be higher. In this case, it will be the double. $2, $4 is the double. So although it is the double, 20 millions to 40 millions. So we have 200%. 100% is 20 millions, according to the business plan, plus 20 millions, also 100. So we have together 200%.
Okay, so let me,
200% are 40 millions.
yes, so let me recap here. Okay, so if the inflation, due to the inflation, we get the company asks $4 a liter. So remember, the company can produce, the plant can produce 10 million liters every year. That's a lot, yeah? Times $4, that gives us 40 million. That's 200% instead of 100 and what was it? 150.
No, 100 plus 100%. We have the
Yes,
same
yes, but
amount.
before it was 100 plus 150 something. Can't remember.
Not 100% more.
Yeah. I know. But in the previous slide, it was 100.
56.
56. Voila.
Yes.
So now we have, instead of $3.17, we have $4. $4 times 10 million is 40 million. That is, instead of 156%, it's 200%. So here we go again. So this 200% is 100% of the business plan, the original plan. There is 100% more profit here. Yeah. Well, no, it's
Income.
Income. It's not profit, income. So we have 200% income instead. And we always start from the business plan. Yeah. We always start from the first 20 million. So that's why we add 100%. So an extra 20 million on top. As we compare it with the original business plan. So that's 200% at this moment. Do you understand? I hope everybody understands. So let's go on.
Okay. The company also in this case, in this example, needs 50% for costs, safety reserve, material research, etc. That means 20 millions for costs. And also 20 millions for profit.
Yes.
Always 50-50.
And the same as in the last case, but the numbers are higher.
Yes. And so we divide 200 through 2, 50-50. That means 100 profit for all parties which are involved, Discovery, SWC investors. And though the counter in our back office will not stop at 78, but at 100%.
Yes.
So this is a big difference.
So when we have inflation, our money goes up instead of down. And that is unique. If you see this is unique. So the counter will not stop at 78%, but it will go up at 100%. So the profit is, instead of 78%, it's 100%. So that means that you don't lose money, you gain money.
Yes, and this is unique. If you invest in another investment, you will get percent, but if the inflation makes the price higher, they don't have more profit of it. In our example, you will have more money. So this calculation also is based on food production and 50% costs for UTerra Middle East agro industries. But the percentage also can change if the price for UTerra will change, can be higher or lower, or the company needs not 50% for costs. So
yeah, that can also happen, because I think in the first 2 years they will have the full 50% cost. because there's always something to fix, always something to add on, always something. Yeah, and it's like building a house. Yeah, you have a calculation, but there will always something. Yeah, but then after 2 years, everything is fixed. They know the production is running full. Maybe they don't need 50%.
I think it will be lower in the future, but not in the first 2 years.
Yeah,
I
true.
think.
Correct. I
Okay.
believe that too.
We
Yeah,
have an
running my own companies, you always have the same. The first 2 years, there's always something. Yeah, what needs extra costs, and then after everything is running up, perfect, 2 years you need for that, and then you'll see the cost go down.
yeah. So we have another example.
Mm-hmm.
The price for the liter will be $5 due to inflation.
Mm-hmm.
So we would get 50 millions, 10 millions liter multiplied with 50 millions. So we would have 250%. Always
Income.
according to the plan, to the business plan. So by 250%, 100% is 20 millions according to the business plan, plus 150% more. That means 30 millions more, 20 millions are 100%, 10 millions are 50%. So we have 150% more. Together, that means 250%. Why we always explain the percent? Because we have to share this percent always. We divide it with 2 if the costs are 50%. Okay? The company in this case also needs 50% for cost, safety reserves, materials, research, and so on. If we have an inflation, all the materials will increase, will be higher.
More in cost,
So,
yeah, the salaries, maybe.
yes, yes, right. So we have 25 millions for the costs, and also in this example, 25 millions for profit distribution. Okay?
And that profit will be divided into 1% goes to one part goes to use Coverage Cowell community and the investors, correct?
Yes, the costs goes to the company, and the profit will be distributed between investors and SWC. I will explain it a little bit later.
Yes.
Exactly. And Discovery always will get 30% of it. Okay, I explain it a little bit later.
Yes.
So in this case, we have to divide to 2, and we will get 125% for distribution.
Yes.
It's really higher. Okay, the counter would not stop at 78 as it's now, as a situation now, but at 125%.
Can you imagine? Yeah.
It's really, really unique.
A lot. Yeah, it's huge.
The calculation is also based on full production. I explain it later. And 50% costs. And also it's the same situation. The price can change because the company has lower costs or higher costs or and so on. But normally, I think it will be in the future lower costs. In the first time, you always have to calculate more for costs or for safeties.
And the safety is quite high because the production is indoors.
Yes.
So the outside influences don't have a lot of, if there's a sandstorm or whatever, the production will not have difficulties. And that's a good thing to know.
And the outside plantation is not included in this calculation. It's very important. It's only about the liters, not what they have from the outside income.
So the production of the UTerra elixir and the biohumus is protected. It's indoors.
Yeah. So now we have another example. We have the same price at the moment, $3.17. It's higher. Okay, we know it's higher. We have also 156% because 100% is 20 millions, 56% is 11.7 millions. Together it is 31.7 millions or 156%. We know
So,
this example from our first slide.
Yes, and this is where we start from. This is the original, this is where we will start from. So we thought in the business plan, we start from the $2 a liter, but we will start from $3.17 the liter. So this is where we start from.
Yes, the start at the moment. And in this example, I explained if the costs are not 50-50, in this case, for example, it could be the costs are only 30%.
And we expect that after 2 years.
30%.
Yeah, we expect that after 2 years.
Yes. That means the full amount of 31.7 millions, we have to divide through 100, 1%, multiply with 30%, with 30. So we will get 9,000,051 millions for costs.
Yeah, so that's 9,510,000 dollars.
Instead of 15 millions for 15,850. So
the cost is really lower, only 30%. Yes. So this is the calculation.
Yes. And thus the company initially would have 70% for profit distribution. It's really very high. So also we have the same price, which is calculated at the moment, but we have lower costs. So we have 22.19 million for this distribution. Okay?
Yes.
Or in percent, 156 divided through 100, multiplied with 70%. We have 70 for distribution. So our counter will end with 109%. This 109, this is a profit for all the parties which are involved. Okay? 109, our counter will stop with 109, higher than 100%. Only why the cost will decrease or be lower, will decrease to 30%, for example.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is an example. If the company doesn't need the 50% cost, but instead of 50%, they say, okay, this year we only need 30% of the cost of the money will go to the cost. Yeah. Okay. And then the rest of the money, the other 70%, goes to the investors, Scaffold community, and Discovery, right?
Yes, yes. Also full production, in this case, only 30% instead of 50% for costs. The price also can change if the price for a liter will be higher, for example, then it will be higher, our profit. Okay, these are only examples. What can be in the future?
But then people can have a vision how profitable this investment is. So this is why we do this, to make people see this is a unique chance. Yeah.
For example, you have bought a property and you rent the property.
That's a good example.
For me, it's though you have costs for
the roof,
something,
repairs, yeah.
Yes, you have problems because one tenant doesn't pay his rent and so on. In our case, you don't have trouble. You don't have cost for anything. You only can have profit, and a really high profit. We will show you now in the next slides which profit you can get if you invest in this very, very good project.
So what she means is that you can invest your money in real estate, but if you rent out your real estate, there will always be, repairing costs, and maybe the person who rent it cannot pay the rent, and there's a lawsuit and whatever. There's always a big risk. But with this, because it's UTerra products are produced indoors, the risk is very, very low.
Yes. You can see here a chart or a table.
Mm-hmm.
If you invest in different rounds, for example, now we have round 2. For example, we take a higher profit. At the moment we compare it with real estate. So if you would invest in a real estate or in, you have costs. Here, if you invest in UTerra, for example, 100,000, you would get at the moment on this price $3.17, 42, almost 43% at the moment. It's really, really high.
With very low
risk. A risk.
Yeah.
Without a risk. Not in the first year. Okay, because we have not full production. But I think from the second or third year, and this the whole time, the whole time, if you don't want your money back after 5 years, you can have this income every year, and it can increase if the price will be higher or the costs will be lower.
So let me hop in. Okay. So what Rosemarie is saying, if you, for example, want invest in a real estate 100,000, the risk is very high, because I explained already before what can happen. And with UTerra, you get almost 43% return of your investment. And normally you can ask your money back that you invested in the UTerra product after 5 years. But if you don't ask it back, and then of course if you ask it back, the return of investment will stop. But if you don't ask it back, it's for how many years do we think it's going to give us the same profit every year, and even more? For how many years?
At the moment they have a contract for 50 years.
50 years,
and
yes.
The option to get it longer.
Yeah.
50 years.
50 years, you get almost 43% if you invest 100,000. And even with the small amounts, you get a lot. Yeah.
Yes, it's a very, very high percent
return of investment.
You can return of invest. You can see here. It's really, if you invest, for example, $10,000 or $5,000, then you can get almost 30% every year. Not in the first 2 years. It's so, but if we have 100%, for example, then it will be higher. You can get a 37% return of invest every year. And if you have a real estate and you want to sell, then you have the risk. The price will be lower, or nobody wants to buy it. Yeah. After 5 years, you can sell, if you want, back it to the company, and you will get your money back with the same amount. It's really, really interesting.
And if you keep it, if you keep your royals, and if the company can keep your money, and if you keep the royals, it goes on for 50 years and plus. So Where can you find it? Where can you find this?
In this case, you have your money back in, I think, in 3 or 4 years from now, because
Yeah.
we have not the full amount at the moment. So we need a little bit longer. But after the time we have not 100%, only 78% after 2 years, for example, then you have every year more than 43% every year.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money.
We're not
And
doing
without
anything,
risk,
without doing anything. The money's working for you.
yes, you can live from this money.
No attendees that call you a nag, or no preparation, no organization. It's all done for you.
For me, also, smaller amounts are really interesting.
Yeah.
Nobody will give you though a lot of money for so a long time. I have a company where I've invested. I get every year 7.5 amount, or another I get 6%. Yeah, this is the normal price, but here it's 3 times, 4 times. It's really high. And in this company, it's not important if you have 5,000 invested or 100,000. You always only get this percentage.
Yeah.
And this is a real interesting thing.
Yes.
So, and now I come to a very important slide. Where will be the profit shared? We have a profit, for example, 78, full amount, 78. This 78% will be 100% profit. Okay? And this profit will divide it 30% always to Discovery. And
that's the marketing company. That's the marketing
company from Unitsky.
Yes.
And the other 70% will be shared between SWC and the investor. So if you would have a package about $10,000 in one-time payment.
So if you bought a package in one-time payment of 10,000, this is an example.
Okay. So you would get at the moment 40% from profit. This 40% is included in this part. 70%, okay? That means 70% SWC will get minus 40% for the investor. So 30% will get SWC in this example. Okay? From the profit, 30% Discovery.
Who's determining the amount? Do you know that? The percentage, who's determining that? Because that will be a question. Who determines how much Skyward community gets, and how much the owners?
Where it is written, or what do you mean?
No. The people will ask me, how do we know how much Skyward community keeps and how much will go to the investors?
SWC always get the difference from the 70% to the investor. In this case, 40%. In this case, for example, investor get 37%. So the difference is 33%. This will get SWC. If you have a lower invest, that you have a lower percentage. So SWC will get a higher percentage.
But it's always the same. Skyward community always gets 70%.
Yes, always 70%, and it shares it with the investors. If the investor has a higher amount, then SWC has a lower amount.
And who determines that?
Moment.
Who is deciding that? Who is deciding Where does how much goes to SWC and how much goes to the investors?
This is explained here.
Mhm.
70% is for
Yes, but
SWC.
that's 70%. How will it be divided? Who decides that?
There is an example in this explanation included with 10,000, and there it is directly explained.
Okay.
But I have not included it here because they have, in this example, all the investors have 10,000 invested, and so people don't understand it.
Yeah.
I think it's better to explain it about different examples.
Packages. Yes. Okay.
Yes. In this case, we have 10,000, and in the slides, in the explanation, there they have it explained with 10,000.
Okay.
Okay, but not every investor has 10,000. It's not so.
No.
So,
it's not realistic, but it's an example.
Understand.
Yeah, it's an example.
Yes, but you always have to 70% minus the percentage for the investor, so the rest will be in SWC. We have in Premium Club, for example, one example with 500,000, there the investor will get 70%. So in this case, SWC will get nothing. And
so the percentage is determined by the amount you buy, by the package you buy.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Yes. That's what the answer.
Okay. In this example, the profit is currently calculated with 78%. So we have 31.2% for income at the moment. If it increased to 100, then we will have 40%. It can be the highest. Okay, if we have 125, then it also the money will increase. Okay, but now we have this situation. The profit is currently the highest amount, 78. If we share 50-50 and so on. The highest yield in this case is $3,120. And if the company only have, and this is only an important aspect, 30% company income, because not food production. Yeah, if you don't have food production in the first, if we only have the laboratory income, so we will have 20 or 30% in the first steps income. Oh, if we only have 30% income, you can see it in the counter, then it will be $1,200 or $1,200 income if you have invested
10,000.
10,000.
Yes.
I think it's 12%.
It's a lot.
In a small production.
And not even the full production.
Not only 30% in production.
It's just starting. Yeah.
It's really high. Okay, we have invested 5,000. Also in this example, in one-time payment, you will get 37 from the profit. If it's 100% profit, but we have at the moment only 78%. Yes. So yes. SWC will get 70%. Here, can see. Yeah. Minus 37. So the income will 33 for SWC. If the amount,
so for the package of 5,000, sorry to hop in, for the package of 5,000, you get 37%. You can see that if you buy a package, you can see how much percent you get from the profit. Yeah.
Yes.
The profit is always 70%. Always goes to Skyward community. Yeah.
Yes.
It always goes 70%. To yes. So
30% is for Discovery or Unitsky company.
Yeah.
and the different 70% will share between SWC and the investor. If the investor has a higher amount invested, then the income for SWC will be lower. If the investor has a lower investment, so SWC will get more.
More, yeah.
Always the same, but this percent you have to. This percent is only if we have 100% in the counter. At the moment, we don't have a 100%. The highest can be at the moment because of the cost 78.
78. Yeah, but that will change in the future if there's
it can change if the price will be higher or the cost will be lower. So it can change that we have 100 or higher percent.
Yeah. So every year the calculation is done again.
Yes. So in this case, with $5,000. So at the moment you can get 28.86% if the production has full production. So the highest yield in this case will be 1,443. It's a lot.
Yes.
Three times, and you have doubled your money. Only on. And in the start,
5,000.
We I think we will 20 or 30%. Then your income will be 550
for that year. And the money is divided
11%.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Compared with my company, 7.5 or 6%. From 6% is almost a double.
And if you go to the bank, you get even less.
Okay. Bank, it is the baddest decision, I think.
Yes.
Okay, you have now an installment for people that don't have a lot of money, but they also can get every year for the next 10, 20, 30 years. If 50, they only invest one time, $1,000 as an installment. So you can get highest at the moment. If you have 100%, 26%.
On
in
your
the future,
1,000.
it will come. In the future, it will come. So in this case, SWC has more. They have 42, and the investor. Oh no, 44. It is
a mistake.
A mistake. Okay, 44, and the investor has 26. Okay. At the moment, 78%. So the investor will also get 20% in full production. 20% with 1,000, and this for the next years, every year. And in the start,
it's amazing.
The start, if you have only, for example, 20 or in this case 30%, you also will have every year. At the moment, 85.4, and I think in the next year 150. I think we will grow 50
slowly,
or 50%, and I think in the third year we will have the full income from the third year, and this every year for 10 years, for 20 years, if you want. But if you don't want, you can have your money back after 5 years. The company will give you your money back. You have. It's not like another investment. You can get your money back, and it's a big difference.
Yes. Yes. And I think only people who are not so familiar with investment will complain. But people who are familiar with investments, normal investments, I mean, investments in banks and in bonds and real estate, they will realize without doing anything, the risk is almost zero. This is what you get. You earn your money while you sleep. You don't have to do anything, no responsibility, nothing. And there you go. You open your back office every 3 months, boom, the money is there.
Yes, and that is really, really interesting.
Yes.
So now you can see it in a counter.
Yeah.
10,000
In the
per
back office, this is written. Yeah, this is written, and people don't understand this. That's why we do this recording. So please pay attention.
Okay, you can see it in your back office. For example, $10,000, only 30% in the start.
In the start,
So
let's say the first year 30%, and the second year 45%, maybe. Yeah,
I think in
or 60.
the next year you will get 50 or 60%.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I think from the third, I'm not sure, but I think it's a company. It will change. It can be higher, but I think from the third year we can get the highest profit.
Yeah,
not
that's
in the
78%. Yeah,
it can be in the second year, but
we will see.
I think it's better to you wait for the third year.
Yes.
So if you have the highest, for example, then you will get 31. I go back. In the start, you will get 12% to 1,200. And
if you pay
for
in one
example,
lump
in the
sum,
third year,
if you didn't pay in one lump sum, it's a little bit less. Yeah. So one lump sum, if you pay in one time the whole amount, then you have this 31.20%.
Yes.
If you pay in installments, and that is amazing that you have that chance, that's 28.86%, correct?
Yes, and this every year, every card, every 3 months you will get your money, not only one time in a year, every 3 months. So if you invest, for example, 5,000, then you will get in the first time small amount, but it's really high.
Still high. Yeah.
It's really high. And if we have the full amount, for example, in the third year, then you will get 1,443.
And remember that 78% can go up, and the 78%
yes, it can go up. It can go higher. We have explained it in the first steps.
Yeah, if the company has less costs, it can go up. If the inflation and the product gets higher in price, it can go up. So it's not a determined price. Huh? So every year it will be calculated.
Yes, it can. I think not. It will be lower. It will be higher every year.
Yes.
So I have one example with 1,000. Many people only don't have a lot of money, but also with this amount of 1,000, it's really interesting. You can see 30% in the first steps of the company. You can get in an installment 7.8. You remember, I get 7.5 every year. It will not grow up.
And you invested more than $1,000.
Small percent.
You invested more than $1,000.
Yes. Yes.
So here you go. It's on a big amount. She only gets 7.5, and you get on a small amount 7.8. If in the first 2 years, and if the profit goes up, your profit goes up.
Yes, and if you have the full production, then you can get. And I take the example of the
installments.
Installment more than 20% every year, only with 78%, not 100. It is so high from $1,000.
It can really go up to 26%. If it's 100% production, it can go up to 26%, only for $1,000.
Yes.
I know, it's crazy.
It's really, and you have no risk, no costs.
No,
you only have
no
to
responsibility.
One time invest.
No nagging attendees, no things that can break down, no nothing. You have no responsibility. You don't have to fix something, organize something. You just have to open your back office, and
Yeah.
every 3 months the money is there. I
For me,
know.
it's a really, really interesting investment possibility.
Yes.
So now I have included in this presentation one site called promo.UTerra.swc.com. And this slide, you can find a lot of explanations about the annual sales plan for the product, annual income, production volume, and project implementation. The first slide, you have 3 steps. We all know it from our presentations. Construction of the plant, it is now building. The next step will be launch the production. We heard of the last interview. It shall be in the end of this year. And this part, it shall be in the end of autumn.
Autumn.
Really, yeah. Really fast.
That's really
and
fast.
After it, then last step will be the product sales. So in this point, you can find numbers. I love numbers, Kat.
Yeah, you love numbers.
Okay, you can see here in the start, in the first year, I think if it is the first year or the first months, but according to the plan, in the first year, they can have income dollars 1,100,000 for UTerra soil elixir and UTerra oasis. It's for oasis for the higher, for example, United Emirates. Yes. So you will get, the company will get 5,156,000 and so on. Or UTerra in 1,000 liter boxes, they will have 55,000 and so on. You can see in the first year it will be a lot lower, but from the second year they have almost 3 times.
It goes up and up and up. Yeah,
and it grows every year.
Of course, the production become higher and higher.
We will have the highest income.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you can see about your income. It will
increase.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But it goes. I mean, the building of the plant is already faster than we planned.
Yeah.
So yes. Maybe the production will go faster than we.
It's only a plan.
It's only a plan. Yeah.
You have to make a business plan, and in the business plan, you can find this information. I have read it in my first week, where I have and there you can find all these numbers. Mm-hmm. And so I have seen it's very important or interesting for me to invest in this product.
Yeah, we both were one of the first investors. Yeah, because we saw the business plan, we saw. And we acknowledge, like, wow, this is a good thing.
Yes. For me, it was really interesting from the first day.
Yes.
So now you can see the production volume. And you remember 10 millions. And though you can see in 2 million,
10 million liters
in UTerra soil, 7,500,000 UTerra oasis.
Mm-hmm.
100 in 1,000 liter boxes and 400 in oasis and 1,000 liter boxes, and this all and biohumus and this all together I have added it, and so you can get the 10 millions. Here you can find the background to it.
Yes. So if people ask themselves, where do they get the 10 million from?
You can find it in the business plan.
Yeah, it's all in the business plan.
Things are included in the business plan. I've read it in the first week. For
Yep.
me, it was really interesting.
It is.
So now we have some main information about the project. We have discussed it today. 20 millions in 3 rounds. We need the money, and we need to raise funds. And they think you will have back the money in 3 to 5 years.
And we almost got the 20 million. To start to build the plant, we needed 20 million. And we got the announcement last week that the end of September they stop, because then they have the 20 million.
Yes.
And the third round will start in August, the 1st of August.
Yes. Yes.
So in a few days, 8 days, the second round is finished. Done.
Okay. You can see here the percentage from 70.5 to 46.8. So what it's a background.
Wait. Where is that coming from? Construction completion.
These numbers are the numbers if you have 78% income. Okay. It's not the highest. The highest, if we have 100, then you will get from 100,000, for example, 55. And here's the highest, 46, because we don't have at the moment the 100%.
Okay, you went a little bit too fast. So we go back to the numbers. 20 million, that's what we need to build the plan. Plant.
In 3 rounds.
In 3 rounds. So the third round will start the 1st of August. Then the construction will be completed in 2025, next year. But it's already faster, We're already faster. They announced it will be ready end of this year.
It's 1 month faster with building as they have planned.
Investment payback period between 3 and 5 years. It depends on the production,
Yeah.
And then the potential returns depends on the amount you put in, is between 17.5 and 46.8, not on 100% production.
Yes.
Yeah, only on 78% production.
Investment.
Yes. And then the last?
And then investment payback period, they have written here 2024 in December, but I think it will be next year.
Yeah, 2025.
We will see, but I'm planned for me or next year in the spring. We can
have
get
our first payments.
Yes, there are different information at the moment. We have to resolve or to clear it with the company, but I think next year. So
that's really realistic.
Yes, for me. So you can see in this example, only 20%. It's the lowest percentage what you can find in your counter. And so round 1, it was only our group, but now we are in round 2, and from 1st of August it should change to round 3. You can see the percentage will decrease. So I think it's really interesting to invest now, or it can be the prepare some specials, that this special also can be very, very interesting, I think.
Yes.
I think it's not the baddest idea to wait for August, in my idea. So you can see we take now a smaller package. A smaller package, the highest, if we would have 100%, 28. But at the moment, if the company only has 20%, then it would be 5 plus 6%. Okay, only 20%. It can be in 1 month, 2 months, for example. But I remember I have one investment. I have 6% every year. without it will be increased. Not and
With a bigger amount investment.
No, yes.
A much bigger amount investment.
Yeah, and this is the difference. So only 20%. So it's very, so we change to 50%. I think it will be in the second year, 50 or 60%.
Or maybe in the second part of the first year, maybe.
Also, yes, it also can be. So you would have 50% income of the company, not our percentage.
Not the profit,
full production, only 50% of the production. So if you invest 1,000, then you can get 14%. 14 is a double of my investment. The double, not full production. So if you have
that is in the first
production,
2 years, yeah. If you have full production, then it's even more.
Then you have 21.8% from 1,000. If you have a higher amount, 10,000, then you have 31. I go back. 50%, you have 10,000, 20%. 20%. It's really, really high. No risk, no costs, no responsibility. For me, it's a really, really a big thing to invest in this product. So, and every investor will get a contract. In this contract, all it is prepared from a lawyer. It is all
legal,
but it's necessary for you. And
we are protected.
Yeah, yes.
Now, what happens, for example, if the company burns down?
Yes. If the company burns down, then they have an insurance.
They have an insurance. And what happens for the investors?
Yes. But they also have to pay someone to us. Not so a lot in this time, but they have to pay us. Okay. I don't think it will burn down.
It will not happen, but people have these strange thoughts. Yeah.
Really fast, and you can get after they have built it again, you can get your money. So in this investment.
But what about the 1%? Remember.
Yes. Moment. On the next slide.
Okay.
Okay, on the next slide. It's very interesting, UTerra, you can pay with bank account. Only for UTerra. Please don't pay money for UTerra and UST together. It's not allowed. You only can, at the moment, pay or deposit your personal account with bank account for UTerra. All the other is not allowed, is not you can get, it is written red, you are not allowed to pay for UST. Okay, so on this slide, if we have the situation, the plant will burn down. Okay, then it can be, they cannot produce. If they have not enough money in safety, so they also have to pay us 0.1% in this year, for example, until they build the plantage again.
Yeah, but they rebuilt it. Yeah.
This risk you cannot. You always has a small risk, but I don't believe.
But I don't think that will happen ever. But they are insured, and even if the plant is burned down, they have to pay us a little amount.
Yes, yes, and they have to build it again.
Yes, and they have to rebuild it.
Our amount later again.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see here, after 5 years, you can have your money. Oh, right. No, yeah, you can back your money. You can have back your money after 5 years. You can pay now in a lump or in 10 months installment. 10 months installment. also
It's
very
amazing.
important. And you have a lifetime right to payments of profits. If you don't want to have back your money after 5 years, you can have your profit every year for the next 50 years.
Minimum.
Minimum. Minimum. And you can, you can give the rights to your heirs. You can,
Yes.
if you have children and you die, your children also can get the money from this investment. For me,
Yes. So
for
if you
example, I have
leave,
3
yeah.
children.
Mm.
It's really interesting.
It's very interesting. So if you leave this beautiful planet, you give it to your children. Make sure you write it down on a piece of paper with your name, the date, and your hand signature, and write especially the names of the people who inherit it. Because a lot of people think if they put in the back office information in the personal section that everything is fine. No, no, no. Put it on paper. Put it on paper. Make a will with your name, date, very important, and your handwriting, and the names and the contact numbers, contact information of the people who inherit it. Yeah, if you have 3 children, all the 3 names have to be there. Put their contacts in it so the company knows what to do, because we already have some challenges at the moment.
Yes.
I do. With one person, I told the person, write it down, and he was already sick. I spoke with him when he was in hospital, write everything down. He said, I will, and he didn't.
Oh.
He did not. And now we don't know where the shares go to. And yes, he made a big mistake. And he told me personally, I want that the shares go to my girlfriend, not to the family. But there's nothing on paper.
No. So his girlfriend will lose the money.
The girlfriend will lose the
be
money.
the
Yes.
first. The family
Everything goes to the family, of course.
Oh. But it's our responsibility.
Yes,
So,
it's our personal responsibility.
yes. Okay. I think, okay, according to selected tariff, we will get our profit. I think it's okay. We know it.
Yes.
So, what does UTerra offer? We learned today we can have profit from 7.9% to 46.8 per annum per year.
Per year. Not in full production.
Only in full production.
Sorry, only in full production.
This is full production.
But not 100%.
Not 100%. Yes. So you invest in an actual production, in a closed production, very important for me, with a competitive quality product. Everyone loves this product. We know it. We have a lot of requests of it.
A lot.
And
a lot.
With a researched sales market, we have the right market, and it's not a startup. We have the first production in Belarus, you know it?
Yes.
And we have certificates about it, and it's a long-term scaling potential. You know every year what you will get. It's a really for long-term. And for me, it's one of the best product where you can invest. But it's only my opinion, please.
Yes.
Everyone has to decide it for
themselves. But don't forget, think about this. You get a good return of investment, but you also bring something amazing to the world. It's a win-win. It's win-win.
We can help the world. Yes.
We can help the world. I mean, desertification is a big problem in a lot of countries, and also the dead soil everywhere because of the chemicals. So a lot of people ask me already, where can we buy the product? And it's not even in it's not even in production. It's in small production in Belarus, and Belarus will never reach that amount of production.
this production is only for Indonesia, for United Emirates, and for India planned, but it will not be enough for these countries. And
No,
we
it will
need
never be
more
enough.
such productions, and we have the chance to invest in the first. It's
Yes.
a really, really good possibility. I explain again. You can see here why we have not the highest profit, because you can find in this slide this numbers which you have seen on the last slide. For example, moment, I go back. 79 to 46. 46, it's the highest from the first round. Only 78%, you see. And the highest will be for these people if you have invested 100,000. If you have 100%, 60%. It's crazy. It's really crazy.
60%, I know.
It's really crazy. If you have invested a high amount, for example, like a real estate, you can get so a lot of money back without any risk. And if you have a smaller account,
or you have to wait many, many, many years.
Yes.
I know people who bought a house here in the area where I live for not so much money, but after 20 years, they sold it for a very high price. But 20 years, 20 years.
Yes, and if you have take the other percent, 79, you can see it is in the third round.
We don't see your cursor.
Amount.
We don't see your cursor.
Oh, and so I'm sorry. Here you can see the lowest amount.
Yeah, and it's in installments. Yeah,
and installment, you can see it's really, really high. I don't know any business where you can get so a high investment amount back. Okay.
All right.
So we explained it today. One time per quarter, you can get the profit every 3 months, and it's fixed, and it cannot decrease. It also can increase.
Yes.
If we have a higher amount, if we have a higher income because of the inflation, or we have lower costs, then it can increase, but not decrease. It's fixed in our contract.
Yes.
So
okay.
Yes, I explained it. The possibilities. Okay, now we have some pictures from our a visit in Eastern, and I want to explain you here this table. This is Ras Al Khaimah, the economic zone. There, the company is included and will and is building this construction, this plan. So on this slide, we have pictures of the construction site where we were in Eastern, in Ras Al Khaimah, also in Sharjah, the group of winners, and they are working. They are working here, you can see, but at the moment we have another situation. You can see our faces, and I want to explain this table. On this table, you can see.
We cannot see your cursor. Yes.
Yes.
There it is. Yeah.
You can see on the highest, Ras Al Khaimah is the economic zone. And this is a company, UTerra Middle East Agro Industry, LLC. Then in the Arabian Emirates, you have to work with a consulting company. You cannot build without. This is the name of the consulting company. And this is the construction company, Asia Star Building Company, LLC. These are the 4 parts. They are included in this production.
And this is all in the United Arab Emirates.
Yes, it is a very, very important economic zone where I think, more than 770 companies included, from more than 100 companies and 50 not companies, countries, and 50 industries, I remember. This is a very, very important part.
Huge, yeah, it's a huge area.
And it's very interesting for logistic and for helping the company for selling and marketing and so on.
So it's a good place to be.
Yeah. Okay, you can see all us together in a photo, which we have done in the end. And
That's
now
nice.
there is a really interesting slide for me. I found it. It's UTerra Online on YouTube. You can find it, youtube.com/@UTerra Online. And on this part, you can see lifetime pictures.
Yes, you can follow the construction.
And you can see people if they walk along the road, for example. It's really interesting. And you can see here, I think it's a laboratory where they will build the first 1,000 liters UTerra and humus. And
you can also put something in the chat. You see me, I put some hearts in the chat. It lifts up the spirit. So I invite you all who see this meeting, put something in the chat, something fun. Give the live stream a like, share it with other people who don't believe the naysayers. Here you go. There's the construction going on. You can see it live.
And you have the difference between our photo, only the tracks, and now you can see what is happening since Eastern. It's a really, they are building really fast, and it shall be ready, the production, the full production, in the end of this year. And I think it will be.
Oh.
Not the greenhouse, it will be next year. But the greenhouse income is not included in the business plan. Yes, it's in a business plan, but not the income is not included in our income. And that is really important for me, for example. Not for everyone, but for me, yes. The full production in the plan is important for us investors.
Yeah.
So
let's do something for our finances, and let's do something for the world. It's a win-win. And that's why we gave the presentation. That's why I asked Rosemary, please, let's put our heads together and explain to people what opportunity they have until the end of September, and it will be closed forever. It will not open again. So thank you very much, Rosemary. You're amazing with numbers. We love you for it. Thank you very much for your loyalty to the company. I know the company appreciates us very much. I mean, and yes, we thought, well, I had so many questions. You had a lot of people with a lot of questions. So here we go. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Rosemary. Do you have some last words?
Yes. Also, a goodbye from me. And I hope we could help you with our work, with my explanation, to understand what wonderful project this is.
Absolutely.
Bye.
I agree. Thank you. Bye-bye.